Welcome to LaughNapkin. My name is Frank, and today we'll be looking at the subreddit r/EntitledParents, specifically stories about doggo friends. Do you have a doggo friend? If so, tell me about him or her in the comment section below. Now let's get into the stories. Entitled Mom tries to steal my sister and my dog. Okay, so this was a while ago, probably like 4 years back, and it involved me, my older brother, my sister, my dog Rufus, also rest in peace Rufus, love you bud, and Entitled Mom. So anyway, the story revolves around Rufus's size. He was a St. Bernard, and if you don't know them, they get really big, really fast. He was around 2 years old at the time and already 170 pounds. One day, me and my siblings decided to go get some ice cream at the store on the block behind our house. So we grab Rufus and go. As we're leaving the store, ice cream digested, Entitled Mom stops us. She's this weird looking blonde lady in probably her mid-50s, Botoxed out of her mind, pushing a stroller with like an infant or something. I don't really remember. I don't think the kid really ever did anything. She asks us about her dog, and we give her the usual spiel. How big he is, how he's a really good dog, yes you can pet him, blah blah blah. But then older brother told her he was 2 years old. Entitled Mom stopped. Wait, you're telling me Rufus is only 2 years old? Brother. Yeah, he is. Pretty wild. I don't believe you. Brother, thinking she was like joking. Yeah, I know. He's a St. Bernard. They get big fast. Entitled Mom in a dead serious tone. No, I don't believe you. Me. Cool. Well, he is, so I don't know what you want us to say. Entitled Mom turns to my sister. Is Rufus really 2? Sister. Yeah. Now, my sister is extremely shy, and at the time, she was only like 9 years old. So when she spoke, it was with a lot of hesitation and very quiet. So I don't know what clicked in this lady's brain, but she must have thought my sister was like coerced to say that. Entitled Mom. Wait, do you know these boys? Me. I'm sorry? Entitled Mom. I'm not talking to you. Do you know these boys? Sister. Well, yeah, they're my brothers. I don't believe you. What are you doing with this little girl? Keep in mind, I was like 12 and older brother was like 13, so it wasn't that unbelievable for us to have a 9-year-old sister. Me. What do you mean? At this point, she's starting to get pretty aggressive, moving closer to us, and me being the most confrontational of the bunch, and the biggest. I was standing in the front while older brother a bit to my side, and sister was pretty much cowering behind me. Oh, and Rufus was just ambling, kinda standing there minding his own business. Entitled Mom. This is a really sweet dog and a very sweet girl. I don't know why you're with a bunch of liars. Now sister, you can come with your dog and me and we'll figure out what's really going on. She grabbed Rufus's leash and yanked it out of my hands. Rufus didn't really mind as he was pretty relaxed overall and was used to people and especially little kids doing all kinds of stuff to him. Me. Hey, give me my dog back. Entitled Mom. I would if he was your dog. But since you're lying about his age, he clearly isn't yours, and I'm an adult, so I'll take care of him now. He'll come live with me and my baby. Also, I think I need to figure out what's going on with sister, since you're clearly forcing her to lie, and I don't think she's even your sister. So sister's coming with me. She grabbed sister's arm, pretty hard mind you, and yanked her so hard she almost fell. Now Rufus has been silent up to this point, and he's normally the sweetest dog you'll ever meet. But he was very protective. Now, if you have never heard a 170-pound dog bark a mean bark before, picture the lion roar at the start of MGM movies, but even deeper. Rufus let out the loudest, meanest bark I've ever heard him do, and it scared Entitled Mom so much she dropped both the leash and sister and almost fell over. I snatched up the leash as quickly as I could. Rufus kept barking and was pretty much raising hell. A few people came outside to look, and I think Entitled Mom kinda understood her predicament. A dog standing in front of 3 young kids in a defense posture, barking, in front of a grown adult does not look very good for the adult. Someone even called out, "Hey, leave those kids alone." Entitled Mom grabbed the stroller, gave us one last dirty look, and stomped off. Rufus stopped barking, and for the rest of his lifetime, anytime someone wanted to see Rufus, it was nothing short of a pleasant experience. My dog sent entitled parent and her kid to jail. Many years ago, I was living in a beautiful sunny southern state. I had a cute little house that was completely fenced in. 5-foot fence in front, 8-foot fence on the sides, and a 10-foot chain link fence in the back. I'm fortunate enough to work from home. My office was my patio unless it was raining. My dog, Sari, German Shepherd Rottweiler mix, kept me company. At a year old, she was a big girl at 120 pounds. She was generally very sweet and kind but protective. She was well trained but also had a knack for disappearing to play with her animal friends, so I kept her on a chain too if we were outside. High school kids in the area had the tendency to use the alley behind my house to get to and from school. Most would stop and say hi to Sari and give her attention. She loved it. I honestly didn't mind. One day, I noticed that anytime Sari was alone outside, some kids would rattle the back fence, throw things at it, then scream and yell at Sari. The kids would run off before I could see who they were. In case things got worse, I bought some security cameras and brought Sari with me anytime I went inside when the kids would be around. One day I had to grab some work from in the house and left Sari outside, just for a moment. From inside, I heard the fence rattle and Sari yelp in pain. I rushed outside just in time to see a kid try to throw a rock at Sari, along with some other kids. I was pissed. As I rushed over to Sari, I calmly asked them, "Did it ever occur to you to wonder why I keep my dog chained in a fenced yard?" Then I unhooked her. Sari ran on my back fence and climbed over it. The kids started running down the alley with Sari right behind them barking away. I let her go about a half block, then whistled for her. She came trotting back, all happy as can be. I checked her over and gave her a treat. She was fine. A couple of hours later, one of the kids came back with his mother, entitled parent. Entitled parent screaming, "You effing horrible person! You had your dog attack my son! He was only having a fun time! He's just a boy!" Kid was at least 16 years old. "You scared him! It was just a joke! You had no right to do that! I'm calling the police and having that dog effing shot!" Blah blah blah. I literally couldn't get a word in. Then she starts threatening me, so I called the police. The operator could hear her plain as day even though the entitled parent was at least 40 feet away from me. The police showed up in about 5 minutes. 2 cars. I guess they were in the area. 4 officers. All very nice guys. 2 officers come talk to me, the other 2 talk to entitled parent and her son. Entitled parent never stopped screaming and cussing. I explained what happened and showed the video to the officers. Showed all of Sari's vet and training paperwork. I filed a report and asked to press charges. The officers are petting Sari all the while because she's demanding attention from her new friends. She has her happy face on. Yes, Sari actually smiles. The 3 of us and Sari on a leash go outside towards the other group. We're about 10 feet from them when Sari suddenly cuts in front of me to stop me and starts growling. The skin around her face went tight, making it look like a hair-covered skull. The hair on her back raises up. Sari is very scary when she's like that. Entitled parent screaming, "See? That horrible person raised a dog to attack people. That dog needs to be put down." I called back one of the officers that I had been talking to. He didn't want to come too close as Sari is showing large teeth, so I moved back towards my house. As quietly as I could, I told the officer that either entitled parent or a kid were carrying a gun. That's why Sari started getting protective. It had happened several times before. I guess to err on the side of caution or to shut me up, he decided to search entitled parent and kid. Entitled parent had an unregistered gun. Kid had a 6-inch switchblade, not legal in that state. So in addition to a charge of animal cruelty, they got nailed for carrying a concealed weapon, being in possession of a firearm while on probation, resisting arrest, and a couple of other charges. Entitled parent never stopped screaming the entire time this happened and while being driven away. I don't think that's how entitled parent or kid expected to end the day, but I enjoyed it. Even better, I never saw her or her kid again, and the kid stopped harassing Sari. Entitled mother thinks dogs are just toys and gets kicked out of a pet shop. Hello, I have this rescue mutt that I adopted after witnessing how a car just abandoned her on the street while still a pupper. Because of this circumstance, I have no way of knowing how her life was before I adopted her, but she seems to be pretty happy living with me. I let her roam free around the house and even sleep on my bed, Usually she's pretty social whenever someone comes visit. So I was at the vet one day. I had an appointment for just a bi-monthly checkup, see if she's growing healthy, etc. While I was in the waiting room, this kid comes up and shoves a small car toy on my dog's ear. This scares her so much that she pees. So naturally, I carried my dog to comfort her. She was still pretty young at this moment. The kid starts whining about how I won't let him play with my dog, and I explained as patiently as I could. The way you use your toy with my dog made her feel uneasy, and you have to be respectful and kind to other dogs because they're just like us. Enter entitled mother. The mother started complaining about how I was being selfish not letting a mutt play with her kid. She said it as if the fact that my dog was a mutt somehow lowered her value as a living being. I explained to the mother that her kid shoved a toy car in my dog's ear, to which the entitled mother just replied, "So what? Your dog isn't well trained. Dogs should be able to withstand anything kids do to them. Young kids just think of dogs as toys." I was going to say something when the vet came out of the office to see what was going on. Apparently, the entitled mother came to adopt a rescue dog from the vet, to which the vet replied, "Unless I see commitment from your part to educate your kid on respecting animals, I'm afraid I can't let you adopt any pet. Most of the pets we have for adoption here come from abusive households, and we don't let them be adopted by someone who sees them as objects for her child to toy with." At this point, the entitled mother was furious. "I promised my son that I would get him a dog if he studied hard. He deserves it." To which the vet replied, "No pet deserves to be treated like a toy by a kid while the parents fail to educate their kid about respecting animals. My decision is final. You can't adopt any pet from here." The kid was crying, but neither the vet or any employee or myself cared at all. It was clear that the mother just wanted to give the dog to the kid as a new toy. The mother complained about how we ruined her kid's childhood and left extremely upset. Hey, you made it to the end. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up as it helps me out big time. Also, if you're new here, subscribe for daily videos. See you in the next one.